Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this is Taking Care of Business. Joining me today is Corinne Pohlmann, who is Senior Vice President of National Affairs for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Thanks for joining us today, Corinne.
Thanks for having me.
Well, CFIB put out an interesting news release today regarding supply chain issues across Canada. Tell me what the concern is as we head into the holiday season and busy time of shopping for everyone.
Well, certainly, I think we all know that shipping has been a challenge throughout the pandemic, and unfortunately, it's only gotten worse. I think over the course of the last 6 to 8 months in particular, we're hearing a lot more delays in shipping, a lot more difficulties in getting products onto shelves. So we're hearing everything from the construction sector to the retail sector that they're struggling to get the goods that they need. I think we all, we've heard about things like, cars also not being able to get shipped because they're missing certain chip parts. So the demand is very interesting right now in terms of what people can actually get on the shelves. So that's creating a lot of concern for business owners who may not be able to have the products that they would normally sell in a big way right now at this time of year.
And also, obviously, we've got the issues in BC too to deal with now as well, right? Yeah.
It's a little unknown right now what the BC implications are going to be, but it does sound like it's going to have a pretty significant impact on the supply chain as well, given that so much comes from the BC coast.
So tell me, in terms of the specific industries or areas that are impacted the most right now with these issues in the supply chain network.
Yeah, so I would say that overall, it's the second highest issue of concern for our members right now. But in retail, construction, and wholesale, it's the number one issue that they're dealing with right now. Because these are all industries, of course, that rely on products coming into the country in order for them to do what they need to do on a daily basis. And if there is a delay because of issues in manufacturing plants or delays because of shipping, those are things that are going to actually hit their bottom line. And so I think there's quite a bit of concern among those. And so we're concerned that this is just going to add to the cost of doing business in Canada.
Okay, and talk a little bit about those costs. This is inflationary costs across the board, just seem to be going up and up and up and up. And obviously that has impact on businesses, which obviously will have an impact on you, me, and everyone else, right?
That's right. And in fact, even our members, generally speaking, we always ask on a monthly basis about how much are their wage plans going up? How much are their price plans going up? And we saw a dramatic increase in their price plans from about 2% earlier in the year on average to now almost 4%. That they're going to be increasing their prices to deal with this, but also other issues and new costs that are coming at them. I mean, the fact is that pandemic is still having an impact on many small businesses across Canada, whether it be because of increased costs to deal with vaccine passport systems or to deal with PPE equipment. So those are things that continue to be, yet revenues may not necessarily be where they were. Only about 36% of our members say that their revenues are back to normal. So there is sort of a confluence of events at a time of year when a lot of businesses rely on the next few weeks to really make a good chunk of the money that they would make to keep them going throughout the year.
Okay. What can the federal government do to help out? What was some of the ideas, I guess, the CFIB has and recommendations it has for the federal government when it comes to this?
Yeah, so we are, obviously it's hard for a federal government or any government to really deal with the supply chain issues. Those are, different issues dealing with businesses supply. But what they can do is help keep the cost of doing business low. And so one of the big things right now, of course, is that come January 1st, Canada Pension Plan premiums are going to be going up. And that's another cost to doing business. And it's not an insignificant increase. We're all going to feel it in our paychecks in Canada because it's going to take a bit more out of what it is we would usually be earning on a weekly or biweekly basis or whenever you get your paycheck. So that's an important one for us because it also makes it more difficult to hire people and more expensive to hire people. That's another issue that's facing right now, of course, is the shortage of labor. So that was definitely one. We'd love to see them freeze it at the very least. If they can't do that, then at least do something to compensate for that increase so that it's not as big a hit as we think it's going to be. Secondly, of course, is making sure that programs continue to be available to small businesses that need it. Those are the pandemic support programs we're talking about. And that's really important as well, because there are a lot of businesses that are still struggling. There are businesses in parts of Canada that are still under restrictions. So it's important that we continue to move forward and making sure that those programs are accessible to small companies, because the ones that are now being announced, I think, are going to leave a lot of small businesses out of being able to get some support.
Okay, super. Thanks, Corinne, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, that was Corinne Pohlmann, who is Senior Vice President of National Affairs for the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this has been Taking Care of Business. Thanks for joining us today.